Star Wars. Is it back? Kinda. A little bit. A little bit, right? We got a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that was released a couple of days ago officially. So now everybody's kind of given their perspectives on it and how they feel. And it's definitely been a mixed reaction. You know, when I first watched the trailer, I didn't feel a lot of hype. And I thought I would. This is going to be the first theatrically released Star Wars movie since 2019 with the release of Rise of Skywalker. It's been a while. A lot of things have changed in the world of Disney and Lucasfilm since then. We have had the Mandalorian TV show, which for a lot of people reignited Star Wars and gave a whole different perspective on the TV realm, what that universe could do on the little screen when it's always been a big screen property. Now, this movie is going to be directed by Jon Favreau with some help from Dave Filoni, who created Star Wars Rebels, which is a show that I loved. You know, I remember when The Mandalorian was coming out and people were having their doubts about it. I did remember how much I loved Rebels. And if they were able to transform that into live action and give me that type of feel, which I think they did for at least the first two seasons. I kind of fell off after that. But overall, now thinking about the movie more, thinking about this teaser, there are things I'm getting a little excited about. I see the biggest complaint is that it looks like a television show. In my opinion, I think no matter what, it was going to look like a television show to us. These are characters we have now seen on the small screen for years. So for that to go into live action is going to be tough. I think of the Entourage movie, where I quite like that movie, but it definitely did feel like an episode of Entourage, just with better cameras. And that's kind of how I feel about this, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I like the Mandalorian show, so I wanted to kind of feel like that. Now, there is a big set piece with the AT-AT walkers, or the AT-AT, however you want to call it, where one of them falls, and that looks big and cinematic. That looks like something you want to see on the big screen. Like when, like the climax to Rogue One. Like, that is something that is meant for the theater experience. And maybe that was just a little teaser. That was to show them, like, hey, this ain't the Mandalorian on your smartphone. We're in IMAX. And maybe they wanted to show that off a little bit. The CGI didn't look the greatest, but we got till May to fix that. We've been down that road before, especially with Disney movies. We also had the reveal of Sigourney Weaver, her character in this movie. We knew she was in the movie. It was announced at Celebration. I welcome this. I will always welcome Sigourney Weaver in movies, especially in a sci-fi movie, a sci-fi legend in both the Alien franchise and the Avatar franchise. So I think she'll kind of fit into this universe perfectly. Not worried about that at all. I think that's going to be great. Pedro Pascal, of course, returns as the Mandalorian. Pedro Pascal oversaturation is definitely in place right now, especially in the theater realm, but you want a lead actor that people go to the theater to see, and it seems Pedro Pascal is one of those people. Grogu is interesting in this movie to me because you have that little side thing with him and I want to say it's Babu Frick. I don't know if it's confirmed to be Babu Frick. Let me know if it is Babu Frick. I love Babu Frick. I'm glad I'm going to see that boy on the big screen again. His little side quest with Grogu, I kind of hope it's all puppet work. Give me like a throwback style to a Jim Henson type Muppets movie. I think that'd be so great. And I think a lot of people have speculated this. That is definitely the number one thing I'm looking forward to the most about this movie, and I hope it's true. Like that would be so cool and different than anything we've had in Star Wars in a long time. And then we had our first look of Zeb, which Zeb, one of my favorite Star Wars characters in general. I love his design. I didn't know how it was gonna transpire into live action, but I think it's great that they kept that cartoonish like feeling. Star Wars Rebels is, probably in my opinion the best thing Disney Star Wars has made yet. I think it's phenomenal. Dave Filoni, I think, did a fantastic job with that work. After the cancellation of Clone Wars, you could tell the guy was committed to make something really special, and I think he did. It's something I revisit again and again. So I welcome any more Star Wars Rebels characters he might have plans for on the big screen. Be cool to see Hera in this movie. Be cool to see Chopper in this movie, one of the best droids ever. There's little things like that, are starting to build up the hype for me. And I think as we get closer and closer to May, I'll feel that more and more. And I hope a lot of you feel that. I don't want to go into this negatively. It's no secret I'm not the biggest Rise of Skywalker fan, but I am excited for this new era of Disney with the release of The Mandalorian first, which is a safe bet for Disney. It's a character people like. And then you have Starfighter in 2027, starring Ryan Gosling. He's literally me, now in Star Wars. And then you have other projects. There's a Rey Solo movie allegedly in the works. James Mangold is making a Jedi Origin type movie, which is interesting. Definitely interesting. And there is a rumor, a very big rumor, that they're allegedly writing episode 10, which that's a video all on its own if we ever get more information about that. Things are happening. The kitchen is cooking again. I think Star Wars has kind of been in a limbo since Rise of Skywalker. There's been no direction. Say what you want about the sequel trilogy, at least there was a direction. We knew those 3 movies were coming out, and the rest of the media in that realm was going to be catered around that trilogy. There's really no base right now. They need to build a foundation. It's like Revenge of the Sith came out, and then you had all those great video games, and then the Clone Wars show after. The prequel movies was that foundation that casual fans go see, and then the hardcore audience goes into the other medias, and that's what Star Wars is missing right now. It's just all the little things. Where's that one thing that's going to maybe bring us all together? Is it the Mandalorian movie? We'll have to find out. I don't think from this little teaser alone we should be judging this movie too harshly at the moment. I think I'm still looking forward to it. The hype isn't truly there yet for me, but the more I think about it, the more I'm getting a little bit more excited about it. And I'll make sure to cover any other trailers or other information we have on the movie moving forward as we lead to the release of The Mandalorian and Grogu in May. I also love the poster. It's very Flash Gordon. The logo is great as well. The marketing, I think, could be really fun at the very least. But thank you all for checking out my little video on the thoughts of this teaser, and I will try to cover more stuff like this if you like little videos like this. Make sure to subscribe, follow the Instagram, follow the other socials, check out Shockwave Sports if you're into wrestling, and yeah, big things are coming to the channel soon. So I will see you all in the next video.